Welcome to my channel, it's Ink Infotuber. This is a part 2 video of a scapula. In my previous video, I explained the scapula's features and the side determination, and that's my part 1 video. If you have not watched my part 1 video and the explanation of the clavicle, please kindly check my description. I have dropped a link below, and I have also created a separate playlist for upper limb bones. In today's video, I'm going to explain the deep attachments of muscle and the ligaments with the scapula. Before that, please take a minute and kindly subscribe my channel and also share to your friends, and also comment at what type of videos would you like to watch from my channels, and also comment your queries. I will definitely answer your questions. If you feel my explanation in this video is quite fast, please kindly change the speed of this video and minimize the speed and learn slowly. Next comes the attachment. The subscapular fossa. Okay, you know that this is a costal part. In costal part, there is the presence of fossa called subscapular fossa. The subscapular fossa give a rise to subscapularis muscle. Subscapular fossa give a rise to subscapularis muscle. Next, supraspinous fossa. Supraspinous fossa give a rise to the muscle supraspinatus. Infraspinous fossa give a rise to the muscle infraspinatus. Supraspinatus, infraspinatus, subscapularis. Next, deltoid, trapezius and serratus anterior. Deltoid arise from lower border of the crest of spine. This is the crest of spine. From the lateral border of the acromion process, there is a rise of deltoid muscle. Okay. Trapezius comes from medial border to the upper lip of the crest of spine. Deltoid muscle from the lateral border towards the lower lip of crest of spine. Trapezius from the medial border towards upper lip of crest of spine. So deltoid, trapezius. Next, serratus anterior. Previously, I said that there is a presence of serratus anterior. So serratus anterior have 8 digitations. The first digitation is from superior angle. Okay. First digitation is from superior angle. The presence of second to third digitation is opposite to the root of spine. This is the part of opposite to the root of spine. So here there is a presence of second and third digitations of serratus anterior. The fourth to eighth digitations of serratus anterior are present from the root of spine to the inferior angle. Okay, first digitation, second and third digitation, fourth to eighth digitation. This is the serratus anterior in which I have previously said. Okay, let us move forward. In coracoid process, you know that this is the coracoid process. There is attachment of biceps long head and short head of biceps brachii and long head of triceps brachii and coracobrachialis and pectoralis minor. First, from, you know that there is a presence of glenoid tubercle. This is a infraglenoid tubercle. If this is an infraglenoid tubercle, then this is a supraglenoid tubercle. Okay, from the infraglenoid tubercle, there is a arise of long head of triceps brachii. Okay, from infraglenoid tubercle, there is a rise of triceps brachii. From supraglenoid tubercle, there is a arise of long head of biceps brachii. Okay, from the infraglenoid tubercle, there is a arise of long head of triceps brachii. From the supraglenoid tubercle, there is a arise of long head of biceps brachii. Next, the short head of biceps brachii arise from lateral part of the tip of the coracoid process. Okay, biceps, short head of biceps brachii, long head of triceps brachii, long head of triceps brachii. Next, coracobrachialis. Coracobrachialis arise from medial part of tip of coracoid process. Coracobrachialis. Next, pectoralis minor. Pectoralis minor arise from medial border and superior surface of coracoid process. Pectoralis minor, coracobrachialis, pectoralis minor, coracobrachialis, short head of biceps brachii, pectoralis minor, coracobrachialis, short head of biceps brachii, long head of biceps brachii, long head of triceps brachii. Okay, I hope clear. Let us move forward. Towards the dorsal surface, there is a arise of teres minor, teres major, levator scapulae, rhomboid minor, rhomboid major. Okay, let us come first to teres minor. Teres minor arise from upper 2/3 of rough strip of lateral border. Upper 2/3 of rough strips of lateral border. This teres minor will have 2 slips. Okay, here one slip and here one slip. There is a 2 slips of teres minor, in which in between these 2 slips there is the presence of circumflex artery of scapulae. Okay, circumflex scapular artery. There is a 2 slips of teres minor. In between these 2 slips there is the presence of circumflex scapular artery. Okay. Next, let us come to the lower 1/3 of lateral border. At lower 1/3 of lateral border, there is a arise of teres major. Teres minor of 2 slips, circumflex scapular artery, teres major. Okay. Next, at inferior angle, there is arise of latissimus dorsi. Okay. Next, the levator scapulae. Levator scapulae from superior angle to root of spine. From superior angle to the root of spine, there is a presence of levator scapulae. From the superior angle till the root of spine, there is the presence of levator scapulae. Next, rhomboid minor and rhomboid major. Rhomboid minor is present right to the opposite of root of spine. There is the presence of rhomboid minor. Rhomboid major present between the root of spine and inferior angle. So here the rhomboid major is present. Levator scapulae, rhomboid minor, rhomboid major. Okay. Teres minor, circumflex scapular artery. Teres major, levator scapulae, rhomboid minor, rhomboid major, latissimus dorsi. Okay, that's fine. Let's move forward. Okay, at subscapular notch. Okay, at subscapular notch, there is a rise of inferior belly of the omoid. Okay, at the upper bar near subscapular notch, there is a rise of inferior belly of omoid. This is a subscapular notch. From this notch, there is a rise of inferior belly of omoid. Okay. Next, the margin of glenoid cavity. This is the glenoid cavity. The margin of glenoid cavity give attachment to the capsule of shoulder and glenoid labrum. Okay. In Latin, it is called lip. Here the shoulder joint. Next, the acromion process. The margin of the facet of medial aspect of acromion process give attachment to the capsule of acromioclavicular joint. At this point, the clavicle possesses the acromioclavicle joint. Okay, fine. So we have finished the muscle attachment. Let us move to the ligaments. There are 5 ligaments: coracoacromial ligament, coracoacromial ligament, coracohumeral ligament, coracoclavicular ligament, transverse ligament, spinoglenoid ligament. Let us come first coracoacromial ligament. Okay. The coraco means coracoid process. Acromion means acromion process. There is a presence of ligament between the coracoid and the acromion process is called coracoacromial ligament. In which part of these processes? Okay. In coracoid process from the lateral border, and in acromion process till the medial border. Between the lateral border of coracoid process and the medial border of acromion process, there is a presence of one ligament. That ligament is called coracoacromial ligament. Between the lateral border of coracoid process and the medial border of acromion process, there is a presence of one ligament. That ligament is called coracoacromial ligament. Next, coracohumeral ligament. You know that here the humerus bone will attach. So the ligament between the coracoid process and the humerus is called coracohumeral ligament. Okay, from the root of tip of coracoid process to the humerus of the bone, there is a presence of one ligament. That ligament is called coracohumeral ligament. Next, coracoclavicular ligament. It is a ligament between the clavicle and coracoid process. Okay, in clavicle, in my previous video, I have said that there is a presence of trapezoid and conoid part. Okay, the ligament between the coracoid process and the trapezoid and conoid part of the, and there is a presence of ligament between the trapezoid and conoid part to the coracoid process. There is a presence of one ligament. That ligament is called coracoclavicular ligament. Next, transverse ligament. Transverse ligament comes at the subscapular notch. This is subscapular notch. Transverse ligament bridge across the subscapular notch and converts into the foramen, which transmit subscapular nerve. Okay, and subscapular vessels lie above the ligament. Okay, transverse ligament bridge across the subscapular notch. Next, spinoglenoid ligament. Spinoglenoid ligament will come at spine of the scapula. Spinoglenoid ligament bridge across the spine of the scapula, in which this ligament specifically across at spinoglenoid notch, and the subscapular vessels and nerve pass deep into it. Spinoglenoid ligament presents or bridge across spinoglenoid notch, and subscapular vessels and nerves pass across it. So we have finished the 5 ligaments. So that's all for today. The ossification and the clinical anatomy I will teach in my next video. My next video will be uploaded after 2 days. I will comment below that if you want a clinical anatomy and the ossification of the scapula. Only if you want, I will do the video. If you don't want, I will move forward and I will do video on the humerus bone. Please comment below that if you want or not. Okay, until that, you study and finish this much portion of upper limb. See you in my next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.